Sarvesham Shantirbhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. So the moment your mind intellect says it is invocation. Invocation means what? I recognize that happiness is my essential nature. I recognize that I'm sitting in my house. You need not to make an effort to have a house. You are already sitting in your house. Do you compare that? So if your intellect does not recognize while reciting or chanting, what happens? Even after 50 years, you are the same guy. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Let us understand in a different way. First, I said invocation. May there be peace for all. So that peace is intrinsic, essential nature, even if I am in stress. And that I am is different from your real I, that is peace. I explained you differently. Let us understand in another way. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be wholeness. Wholeness in all. Wholeness, sense of completeness. Sense of completeness. Let me check. Mind. Are you chasing something outside? And you say, for example, you're chasing happiness plus anxiety because you are chasing outside. Peace outside with anxiety. Why don't you listen to me? You don't agree. You insulted me. Oh, so you have an unmet expectation of peace and happiness. So you are still chasing outside. You have a sense of incompleteness. Are you aware of that? That is Mangalacharan. That is Mangalacharan, my friends. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. I told you in the very beginning, invocation means recognition. Recognition means cognition. It's a cognitive understanding. What is that cognitive understanding? I am not making an effort to be able to enter into the auspiciousness. It is already there. It is all the time. Can I recognize it? I recognize it, but I am in stress. Then you are crazy. You have not learned anything. Open your eyes. You see that? Two, one is the real I that does nothing, and the other is the apparent I through the mind, intellect. We have to use that. I'm using that while guiding you, while explaining these principles. The same apparent I is recognizing my master is manifesting in you all. How can I be rude to my master?
I can't connect to the Wi-Fi network. You might want to check the connection settings in the Google Home app.
How can I? Are you understanding? Say yes. And say yes before I say something from today. Let us move to the another level. You have been with me learning, and especially in Mondays and Thursdays sessions. for almost, we say 6 years. Another Christmas is approaching. Thanksgiving has gone. What I want to say, my friend, I I hope you will agree and I will make some modifications. Every day we meet after the Mangalacharan, you all have to speak. I have spoken enough. Okay. What do we have to speak? Yeah, that is important. So you are living consciously until the session and you discuss how many times have you experienced anxiety, blame, complaint, reaction during the last 2 or 3 days you spent. Because you claim that you are in peace and happiness. So let us see how many times. How did you apply Eastern wisdom to dissolve them, or did you continue to suffer, or it has taken you long time to recover? Do you agree with me? I am adding a caveat to that. Don't tell me that you fought with the honey, you reacted to the honey. You say, no, I reacted to a person. Use the third person if you want to hide it. You are hiding, so that is also a subtle ego. What should I say? Hide it. I have no problem. Hide it. Do you agree? Do you all agree? Say, nod your head. And then, what prevented you from applying the principles and the practices of Eastern wisdom? It will help you to open up your challenges, your ignorance, your delusion. Americans will say it's a privacy issue. Others will also say, others will hide it. They will not say it's a privacy issues. So use the third person. Don't use the I and my honey, I and my mom, I and my dad. Just tell me this happened, anxiety took place, but you explain the real incident so that others also learn from you. Reaction, one session, and the second modification, because we want to move ahead. Those who have left, say goodbye to them. They are wiser enough. They have already learned enough. So there is no problem. There is no problem. You have to explain. And then we always have 2 sessions a week. So in one session, we will do a long meditation, and the other session, we will continue as it is. Are you ready? Why? Because the more you talk about your challenges that took place and you revisit them, you contemplate and reflect, then you will become aware of the principles that need to be applied. You have a reduction or you have a dissolving of anxiety within few seconds, or it took some time. So that will indicate the progress that you have. I know everyone is open, so let us start with the Dennis. Today is Thursday. So what happened? Tuesday, Monday after the session, Tuesday, Wednesday, and now Thursday.
Okay, what I can remember off the top of my head, there was one incident when my honey demanded attention, and I was not ready to give it. I had some errands to run, some things to take care of, and she was still demanding, and that kind of made me not upset, but inside there was something like um, some kind of negative emotion that's been trying to rise and has been trying to manifest. Of course, it didn't go to uh, as far as manifesting outside. It remained inside, but I noticed it not right away. I noticed it some time after, maybe few few minutes after, and I was just watching it. I was watching how it was developing, how I was asking why. I was asking myself why it's uh, trying to rise, and why is it trying um, to upset me. Um, and of course, I remembered the principles. I remembered that this is not what I want. This is this isn't something that is leading me the right way, and I applied the principle. I can't calm myself down, and on the outside, all this time, I was just silent. So what others could see me, I was just like staying there and doing nothing. No expression change, no nothing, just staying and thinking.
Beautiful. Physical, mental, verbal expression changes when we have a slight ignorance, or you can simply say the impulsive mind. So we have to see that nothing changed outside. Very good. Internally, I felt something. I apply the principles, and then throughout the day, 24 hours, I'm in peace and happiness. Last week, I just give an example. You see the round mirror that is used by the women to see their face. Huh? Yeah. So it is already there. My honey asked me, "Oh, let us have this." And that was costing almost $90. Mirrors the same. Your face will remain the same. You're laughing. So she asked me, I said, "No, we will not buy it. You already have it." But I didn't say that. After all, the face will remain the same in the mirror. Why to waste that money? I didn't say that, but that was my intention. So instantly I said, "No, no, we are not going to buy this. You already have it." So the impulsive mind remained little bit. Not, it did not impact, but it was there. And within few seconds, it dissolved. And you return to the peace. Same example I'm giving you. So it happens even after awakening, it was going to happen. But you instantly return to the same state. Yes, Christina, you have to say something. Last 2 days.
Thank you today. Can you hear
Echo, lots of echo.
me? Echo. Is that any better? No.
Okay, just cut it. No, echo is there.
Reducing. How's that? Is that better?
She is in too much peace. Her echo says that.
I don't know.
No, we don't hear you clearly. Let us correct it. In the meantime, we will go to David and Jerry.
Thank you. Yeah, well, I have a business and a personal thing in the last few days around the impulsive mind, or the, I don't want to call it impulsive mind, is the reactive mind. And just this morning in business, this item came up with one of the people on our team who we've been kind of like wondering, is that person really doing a good job? And somebody, a third party, a banker, we're working on a loan right now. The banker questioned whether he did something or not. My immediate reaction is, oh, I bet he didn't. I'll go research it and I'll go prove him wrong and all this stuff. And I said, nope, I'm just going to let it go and let it come through. And, you know, sure enough, that individual responded and had done it and done it better than what we expected. And I'm like, good. I'm glad I just kind of stepped back and didn't have that impulsive reaction. You know, and sometimes, you know, with Jerry and I, with, you know, kind of working through our things, is things occur and there's like an instant reaction, kind of like the round mirror aspect that isn't warranted, but it's just kind of like a habit that I am working on breaking. So just being aware of that, those types of issues, both in our personal relationship and the business relationship.
The most beautiful part is that you both are attending this session, so it helps you both, and you both are open to each other to communicate in those principles of Eastern wisdom. And that is definitely going to help. We recognize that, oh, ego has come, let me bring it down. That this reaction has come, let me bring it down. Or the other can point you out. No, first bring you down. First bring this reaction down, then we will communicate. So yeah, that's another good example. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, my when I notice frustration, and there's definitely frustration with repeated behaviors. So as David mentioned, like there's communication habits that have formed over, you know, what is it, 18 years, almost 18 years. So there's some habits there where the communication is more habitual and not to understand. So we've gone back to looking at it more from a pilot perspective. This is what I heard, clarifying if that's correct. And then it really helps to have that space to understand and then answer and respond in a way that is meaningful.
Beautiful. You know, you said, so I'm linking this, 18 years is like a costly mirror. So my mind should change. My mind should, okay. That is why I used to say that, keep quiet. If someone says with a reaction and does not want to understand. And if the other person never says anything, so he or she is burning inside, it is better not to say anything in both the cases. Maintain that awareness until the other guy comes and responds, recognizes their repetition, their habitual behavior. And then you will see a change. It may change, it may not change. But one thing is sure, that you are changing. You are not keeping that grudge in you. So we want to live. When we say the happiness is my essential nature, it must be there 24/7. So I have to recognize it. If I don't recognize, I don't get it. Stephen, you want to share our American privacy issues?
Namaste, sir. No, I don't have a problem with that. I'm an open book.
Very good. And I just was joking here.
I spend a lot of time contemplating, reflecting, and always looking inside more these days than ever before. And so I thank you for that. So I would like to think that I recognize that peace and happiness is my essential nature, and I'm working on that every single minute of every day. But from time to time, things happen, and for this week, 2 nights ago, I woke up in the middle of the night, which is very rare, and I woke up and my mind just took over. The racing thoughts, and I couldn't even tell you what they were. It was just busy mind, and I had this sense of frustration because I woke up before, but I'm able to go back to sleep. It's not a big deal. I know that how to shut that thing down. And for a good hour, I forgot the principles of the Eastern wisdom. And I took a deep breath. I laid back down, and I started with the Mangala Charan.
Beautiful.
And I went to sleep. And it was a very restful rest of the night sleep. And so then all day yesterday was great. And then last night, the challenge of being reactive rather than responsive. I get a phone call from my daughter who hit a curb and blew out her tire. And I was just frustrated because new cars today don't have spare tires. So you blow out your tire, you now have to get a tow truck. So she's got to wait 3 hours for a tow truck to come and get her. And I'm not going to let her sit in the middle of the street. So the anger was building. And I got into my car and I said, okay, apply the Eastern wisdom, took a deep breath, Mangala Charan. I got to where her and I sat there and meditated for 2 hours. So it was that moment to just be able to catch yourself and just bring it all back. So
beautiful example, self-explanatory. You see, this is how we live. We have to live. It is not that the Buddha is sitting in a meditative pose. Some guy spitted on him, and the cousin was sitting behind, and he said, "How dare you?" And the Buddha opened eyes. You said to the cousin, "You leave him. Don't say anything." And the next day he came. He was repenting and touched the feet, asking forgiveness. Buddha said, "To whom I should forgive? The one who spitted on me yesterday, but that guy is not present now." That is the beauty of the Eastern wisdom. Means that is awakened. You already awakened to that. It did not have impacted you. How are you, Barbara?
Not wonderful. This past week, I experienced a lot of anxiety concerning the health of my grandson. And I always think that there's more that I can do to help him, and I don't know what that is. And I do a lot of research, and I go with him to the doctors. I find that the doctors have a very traditional approach, which is do nothing, basically. No one has really offered anything that is substantial, that can help him substantially. And I try to exhibit detachment, but I find it very difficult. I don't show it on the outside, but it's there.
Beautifully analyzed, reflected that sometimes we have a physical reaction, verbal reaction. If not, then it is mental and the emotional reaction. So you have to contemplate that why I'm doing a mental reaction. What exactly is the limit of my serving my grandson? What exactly is the limit? Can I enter into him and guide him? It's basically psychological challenges are more than physical. So unless he becomes aware, he changes, oh, I have found the path. So how to help him become aware? That is one option, and we will continue talking on that issue. But first you have to take care of yourself. You have converted the event into an incident. It is the event taking place to your grandson, and you have converted that into an incident because he is my grandson. So I'm impacted. That is attachment. It is invisible. So more contemplation is required. Vaibhav, you want to say something before we go for a longer session of meditation?
Thank you, sir. Sir, this happens like frequently. Some like in the last year, like whenever like I try to communicate something to my honey, and my daughter is 6 years old now, so she always try to speak at the same time, and whatever ever, whenever I try to communicate, and like it's like that. Sometimes I'm busy, I want to say something quickly, and then I go away, but she comes in between and say something, and sometimes I forgot that what I have to say. So it kind of, I try to let her say many times, but it sometimes develops some anxiety or some frustration inside. I try to remember that at this point of time I have to be calm and patient, but sometimes I forgot this and then reaction comes.
Yes, you are right. When you are young, so in the younger life, we have more energy and we spare that energy in our reaction and impulses. So you have to find the way out, how to. So now contemplate on that issue, that whenever you communicate, how you have to respond. What are the things that you forget? Forget means a kind of forgetfulness or delusion. I'm not. And second thing, one thing very important, you care everyone outside in the world, whether you are being taken care of or not. Don't get upset. Let nobody takes care of me. Let me take care of everyone. Why? I know happiness is my nature. They don't know. So I have to continue. I have to live into that state. Yes, Ashok. Only namaste. It will not work. You have to say how many times you reacted and what you did. I'm sorry that yeah.
सर अभी तो रिएक्शंस है और ये है कि बाद में मैं थोड़ा जल्दी ही समझ जाता हूँ बट इट इज स्टिल देयर और चाहे हनी से बात हो चाहे किसी और से हो बट आई मैं एक्नॉलेज अप्लाई करता हूँ उसके बाद फिर काम हो जाता हूँ अब मैनेज हो जाता है बट मैनेज की जरूरत ही ना पड़े उस स्टेज में आने में थोड़ा टाइम लगे.
So he is generalizing that, now I have reaction on everything. I am trying to mend. So from the next session, don't be general, be specific. What happened in the last 2 days, that will change you. I'm already reacting. My nature is like this. My nature is being angry. Why your nature is being angry? I have to work on it. What you have been doing for the last 35 years, going to my master. So be specific from the next session. We want to change. We want to change. Let us see if Christina can no.
Okay. Can you
Lot is there. Do you want to say something from your phone? We can see the lips movement, but we can't. Okay, no problem. We will let us go into the practice of meditation, and after that we will take Sangeeta and Terry. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed. So in the stage one, my friends, we did first step, place, position, and posture. What is the traditional step for that? If I name it, there are two words that you will remember if asana is in the pratyahara. Pratyahara is the withdrawal and asana is the seating. We already know asana postures. So we set the inner field in the first step. By setting the inner field, we experience place, position, and posture. Did you understand? So we are going a very practical. I'm just opening up. You become your own teacher. So you are aware of the place, position, and posture. You know what happens when you are aware of the place, position, and posture? You bypass the default mind, its restlessness, and enter conscious presence. So if you have a reaction, too much of reaction, too much of attachment, you have to pay little more attention on the first step. Check that does your mind become aware? Does it feel experience? Does it experience place, position, and posture? Even if the mind inside is reacting or agitated, you go back again and again. Sit steady, relaxed, upright. Gently, your eyes are closed. Gently, the first step is done. We are going for a longer version, and in the longer version, we will pick up lot of stuff. So being comfortable is the second step that we have been doing. So can I say that in being comfortable, you shift gears inward? So those who feel lot of attachment, and if you shift your gears inward, you cannot bring any person inward. Only your mind goes inside. Means changing the direction. I spoke of that. I will talk in a different tone so that your mind will reflect on it easily. So, how you do being comfortable, you move the mind on the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. But when you're moving, you should experience the sensation instead of reaction inside the mind. So sometime what is going to happen if you are emotionally upset, your mind will continue to react. You won't feel the sensation. What needs to be done? Move the mind again on the skin of the body. Then what you do, you know, you feel, you experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Change of direction is the second step. Comfort is the doorway to inner direction. It is not a goal. Discerning intellect can choose the direction of attention. Are you understanding that right? I'm just opening up each and every aspect of it so that no ignorance is left out. Now, the third point is being carefree. Traditional, you can say it is a dispassion and discernment. It is a dispassion and discernment. Oh, that is what you said. You talked many a times. I never thought. Yes, because of the discernment, you separate what is observed with the observer. You dropping the words grip. I get emotional because of you. I get emotional because of the second person. I get emotional because of the event. What do? You drop the words grip. How? Stay in your mind. This is not me. This is a thought pertaining to my honey, my relations. This is not me. So when you say this is not me and wait, when you wait and say you see it is different, carefreeness loosens the default mind's compulsive engagement with the world. Am I clear? Carefree, being carefree. Default mind have a compulsive engagement with the world, and you just recognize it is a compulsive engagement. You say it is a compulsive engagement. It is not me. There is another way. You see the space between what you experience and what you are. I'm in anxiety. It is a thought. Thought with a feeling. You are different from it. So what you learn, there is a third position, not running toward, not running away, just an awareness, and that awareness is the space. I'll explain it again and again, don't worry. So here works, you know, in the first three states, what works, that we will introduce gradually in the step 4, Sama, Dhamma, Uparama, and Titiksha works. And because you made them work, you have a fifth one is the Shraddha, is the faith. Very subtle, very clear. Now the fifth step will be our Mangala Charan. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham shantir bhavatu. Now in those days you already know the meaning. I'm chanting only the same Mangala Charan mantra. May there be happiness for all. May there be peace for all. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. May there be auspiciousness for all. Mangala me Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. What is happening? The intellect, the discerning intellect cognizes or recognizes. I'm using the language so that you can, it recognizes the happiness is within me, even if I'm into anxiety, even if there is an attachment. So even if there is an attachment, it is the default mind. Also, it's a struggle between the default mind and the discerning intellect, not with me. Why should I worry? So what should I do? Discerning intellect must stay with what I recognize. What I recognize, if happiness is my nature. Understand clearly, 99% of the Indians have a wrong notion. Mantra is not for getting something. It reminds me that I am happiness. I am peace. And we go and ask our teachers, which mantra, which is the strongest mantra I should practice. You are not, you are the weakest. How can you do the strongest mantra? And now come the sixth neighbor, the next step. We already, so I will tell you also the name, traditional name in the Eastern wisdom, sixth neighbor. It is a pure practice of dispassion, meeting the neighbors, recognizing that neighbor is not me. How simple it is. So today we will pick up, and next Thursday then we will take a deeper level. Pick up only one aspect. Neighbor means I am not my neighbor. So the first neighbor, the world of people, relations, and events. Oh, can I recognize in the moment of attachment? Oh, neighbor, you are causing me trouble in my third neighbor, fourth neighbor. You are great. I'm not going to be affected. Second neighbor is the physical body. Just feel the body and become aware it is the neighbor, it is not me. It is born, it grows, it decays, it dies. It is an object known to me. Am I right? Or are you scared when you heard that? Body is born, Body grows, body decays, body dies. Is it a universal law? Yes. Can I defy it? No. So why should I be attached? Third neighbor is the prana, the energy. So whenever you have, you see that fatigue and hunger and thirst, it is the wake up call for this, wake up call from the third neighbor. It powers the body and senses, but is also observed and variable. Hence, it is not me. Fourth neighbor is the mind. Emotions, like, dislike, worries, imaginations, attachment, detachment. Oh, so it's a fourth neighbor. It's a doubter, it's a reactor, it's a storyteller. It gives you a good story that how you inserted me. Because we forget how you appreciated me. Fifth neighbor is the intellect and the I-ness. I thought. So I guard myself that I thought does not boast that I am what I am. When we want to keep our I thought, we journalize all the issues. We will talk. I will make you aware of that. And the sixth neighbor is the causal body, the ignorance. And beyond the sixth, I have to find the pure consciousness is the real self. The stage number 1 is done. The stage number 2. In the stage number 2, it is contemplation and reflection in the beginning. Or I would say self-audit. You know, we Americans use the word phrase self-audit. So self-audit, best part is that once you have done the 6 steps, or in the first stage, you re-audit, you repeat the 6 steps. Place, position, and posture, being comfortable, you are carefree. And your all effort is gone, mind is relaxed and calm, and then you do the Mangalacharan, and you are very clear about the 6th neighbor. So this self-audit is done, and after this self-audit, we go to the breathing. Why we go to the self-audit? Contemplate on it. These are higher practices of meditation. So it is not a almost mechanical way of doing the practice of meditation. Picking the practices from the Google will not help you. Still looking deep inside the forehead in the space. Pay a little more attention. You look at the skin of the forehead. Do you feel it? So you feel your sensation is outside. And then your mind looks inside the skin. So what inside the skin is the space, or darkness, or blankness. Or are there some thoughts? So here works all the crazy thoughts written. So we have to bypass it. That is why we pick a point in the space and we keep looking into the point, and then you start breathing long, deep, and the hissing breath into the entire rib cage. Continue. Long, deep, and the hissing breath. Your body doesn't move except the rib cage. Body remains straight. The spine is lengthened a bit so that it maintains its steadiness. Your mind is looking inside, and continue breathing long, deep in the hissing breath. We are in the step number 8. We'll be doing only one step out of today. I know I can help you sit even for 2 hours in meditation, provided you follow clearly. Continue long, deep, and hissing breath. Long, deep, and hissing breath. Continue. So, dude, you know the previous experiences continues the place, position, posture, steadiness, being comfortable, carefree. So, when you, oh, carefree also? Yes. You are seeing that it is the body and the breath and the mind are working together. I have to do nothing. Let me continue. We have to reach to that state. Continue. Continue, please. Long, deep, and now leave it. Why we did it? You know, the breathing practices can refine our awareness while maintaining understanding that awareness is beyond the breath. Now keep looking at the breath, the flow of the breath, presence and witness. Sakshi Bhava, we say in Eastern wisdom, Sakshi Bhav with prana. Or in Buddhism, you can say Vipassana with the prana. So you are watching the flow of the breath, presence that gives you the presence. With that presence, you experience the sensation of the breath. And just remind, being carefree, breath is separate from I am. You see, in each step, we can go very deep. So if we have a right understanding of the principles of Eastern wisdom, why we do that? This, you are aware of the breath? Yes, I'm aware of the breath. Are you aware of the flow of the breath? Yes. The same awareness that knows the breath can know everything and yet remain untouched. The same awareness that knows the breath and can know everything yet remain detached. If you don't link, associate with your understanding that how each step works, it is not going to bring the transformation. Now we will be going for a nyasa. So we watch the flow of the breath, and now you start breathing deep, silent, slow breath. You are expanding the mind balloon. Oh, you don't allow the mind to stay on any attachment. So that is how you know I'm using the phrase. I'll use different phrases to make you clear. So as you inhale, your mind moves with the breath from the top center of the head, going deep inside, reaching to the tailbone while singing Om Shanti. And while breathing out, your mind moves from the tailbone upside, reaching to the top of the head, singing Om Shanti. Are you not expanding the mind balloon? Why I said so, your mind, default mind, do not run after the attachment, likes and dislikes and your current problem, etc. But it comes by the practice. So continue. So continue what we are doing, what you are learning. Mind can be expanded. When it is contracted, you have attachment, you have blame, you have complaint, you have reaction, you have anxiety. When you expand the mind and you refine it, awareness is the container of all expansions. What happens? Oh, those attachments, those reaction, leave it. We are still in a stage number 2. Okay, leave it, return to the flow of the breath again. In that flow of the breath, you are aware of the breath, you are aware of the place, position, and posture, you are aware of the sensation, comfort, and steadiness, you are aware of the sensation, relaxation, and stillness, you are aware of the happiness, or pick up anyone. You are aware of the 6 neighbors, then what? I want to go beyond. How can you be aware of so many things? I'm aware of you all. The same way you are aware of everything. The default mind does not allow you to be aware of everything. Okay. I'm just giving a stillness and clarity can coexist. You can be deeply quiet and fully aware. And now we move to that third stage. I explained you the dynamic and static Om Shanti. So now it is very easy for you to be aware of the breath is going in and out. So on the track of the breath, you drop the mantra Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Default mind drops attachment. You are dropping Om Shanti. So the intellect is required. The discerning intellect is required to drop Om Shanti. Just understand clearly. Your understanding will help you to advance. Default mind drops attachment, it can drop reaction, it can drop anxiety on the breath. What you are dropping, Om Shanti. So Om Shanti with your experience of the peace. I am the peace. Very good. Continue. Yeah, dropping Om Shanti. You see that how the mind is educated on a dynamic flow of the breath, not changing. Yeah, dropping Om Shanti. Mind creates one set of impressions. Mind creates one set of impressions. And now leave this, drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. It creates another set of impressions. Why we are creating these impressions? To get rid of those impressions which causes me anxiety, duality, and a conflict. Am I right? Think of it. No, it is not happening. I have done for 6 months. Do it for 6 years until it happens. Consistency, commitment is required. You're not paying full attention. That is why it is not happening. But someday we have to we get our attention. Someday it is not. So it's okay. That is why the consistency. So it is fingers are static. So mind gets another set of impressions. In the static state inside, when you see the attachment, it drops. Lot of other stuff is there. Very subtle. And now is the time to take your mind deep inside. It is already inside. Visualize the triangle. Finding a bar, drop Om Shanti on each side of the triangle, moving it in a clockwise and anti-clockwise. What we are doing, we are preparing for absorption. Oh, we are preparing for absorption. Triangle, moving mind with the mantra, clockwise and anti-clockwise. So we check, if there is a sync, you will experience as if you are playing with the mantra and the triangle in movement. Everything becomes so at ease and natural. Attention, what is the purpose? Attention can be educated, can be trained. I'm not helpless before the default mind. I'm not helpless before the attachment. If you feel you're helpless, then you have a problem. And now we enter into the stage 4. In that state, you start moving the mind deep inside the cave of your heart, singing in your mind, Om. And with that Om recitation, mind moves deep inside the cave of the heart. Mind seems to stop. You drop Shanti. And after that, you do nothing. You are saying Om Shanti for absorption. Oh, that is another. That is what, you may think, oh, that is what I was thinking, why we do it. Huh? Almost the fourth aspect of Om Shanti is that we are doing it to be absorbed, not to repeat again. Where is that self-absorption? It's a kind of a higher state of meditation, you can say. Samadhi. Mind drops effort. Mind drops all the effort. Default mind is quiet. Discerning intellect remains as a pure awareness of the self-absorption. You can listen it again and you can reflect on it. 99% of the meditation practices, those who follow a non-traditional discipline, their higher meditation means you lose your awareness that mixes with hallucinations and imaginations and visions, and we try to live with those visions and hallucinations. What we are doing, there can be self-absorption without losing your awareness, and this is the flavor of a higher meditation. You may experience the vision in colors, then what? No issue. Experience light, colors, images, visions. So do you know what happens? The default mind, I got it, I'm awakened, because you see the light, colors, and visions. And discerning intellect says, no, why no? This is also my experiences. I am discovering who am I. I am not discovering a new experiences. And to maintain that is a big task in a non-traditional discipline. They lack those principles and they fall into, that is also known as the Hatha Yoga Samadhi. Visions are events in the real self, not proof of enlightenment. You have to chant mantra with me. We enter into the stage 5. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You are recognizing that Shanti in you. Otherwise, what is the fun of saying it? What is the fun of listening? Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Same mantra, different level of depth, understanding becomes mature and it leads to my higher awareness. Now bring the mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both of arms, place it on your eyes, and know your experiences. Bring the hands down. Can you say something or still the echo is there, Christina? We don't hear you. Anyhow, let us go to David and Jerry. In the meantime, let her return.
Thank you. That was a very, very deep meditation, and I just every stage was getting more absorbed, and just the only realization I had, it's like in yoga, the corpse pose is the last pose, but everything before that is getting you prepared for the corpse pose. So I felt like once we went inside, deep inside the heart, everything prior to that was preparing for that beautiful, quiet, peaceful place. So thank you.
Beautiful. That is self-explanatory. Beautiful state. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. Meditation was deep. There were a lot of thoughts initially. I realized I didn't share something specific, so that was reflecting on that. So I can do that. And then as we went through it, there's so much joy in the practice. So the meditation just brings a lot of joy and that observation of knowing I am. And if I am frustrated, I still know I am.
Yes. Beautiful. That is full of the joy. That gives you a different dimension of living our life. And it is 100% possible. That opens the door to that awakening and enlightenment. Is it not, Barbara? Yes, Barbara, what do you say?
It was a very, very peaceful meditation. And it was actually the first time this week that I've experienced peace. It was wonderful.
So you are ready to go into anxiety again after the practice?
Not right now. Not now.
So after an hour?
I hope not.
Oh, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, can you say something, Christina?
How about now?
Yes, now it is good.
Yay! Yeah, I had that conversation with my supervisee / friend, and it didn't go well. And I, leading up to it, kept doing the Mangalacharan to make sure I was grounded and centered in peace. And I really felt like I handled the conversation with love and calmness and just ended it with leaving the door open. However, you know, it stuck with me, and then I was short with my kids later on, and so I could see the attachment to the situation that I was pulling along with me.
See, the default mind, once it starts, it never stops. So it started with your colleague, and then it carried forward its impression to your kids. And then it continues. That is how it creates those, it accumulates those impressions. And those impressions are repeated again the next day. There is a secret behind it that we will talk. So you just become aware of that. And the more you become aware, and the more we follow these simple practices. This group is very higher as compared to other 3 groups or 4 groups. Yes. And how are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. My meditation started off with a thought that popped into my head of, you know, it basically was like every thought, every action, every word that comes from me has to be compared to how does it serve my peace and happiness.
Beautiful.
And I contemplated the first part of the maybe the first quarter of the meditation. I just kept contemplating and reflecting on that and comparing all the things that have happened and how I handled it and whether it did serve that comparison. And I would say I was successful at it, except for the 2 things I shared earlier today. Then from there, it was like I just felt settled about it, and my meditation just was falling deeper and deeper, where there are moments that I was kind of startled that I didn't realize where we were. So that's how deep I was in myself. And then that focus became on the triangle, and I think I was at the triangle at a different stage. And then when you actually, I heard you say the triangle, but the triangle started like moving on me. And it was, you know, one time I was starting from the top, then it was flat on its, you know, laying down. And I was like, just focused on the breath and watching what's going on, and just kept getting deeper and deeper. So again, thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. Contemplation and reflection must continue. Default mind reacts, and you start with the reflection, means discerning intellect has returned. Come on, Barbara, you can say to your mind, mind, are you crazy? Why you are attached? What you can do? And just wait, see. So you have to awaken. I have to awaken to my intellect so that it can take me to the peace. That is how it works. Beautifully said. How are you, Dennis?
Deeper meditation today. The mind was very much focused on the steps, and later on the space. And in that space, for some time, I could see the thoughts were trying to emerge, but they didn't. It was very, very peaceful. Thank you.
Beautiful, yes. You see that on that awareness, the thought emerges. But what is the foundation? Foundation is the awareness and consciousness. I am anxiety, I am anxious, appears on the awareness. If there is no awareness, there is no anxiety. If I'm not conscious, then where is the attachment? So I have to see this attachment is separate from this consciousness. Finished. I am free. I'm also sharing my personal experiences, and I already shared the two mirrors, you know. Both mirrors, you have to see the same face. So I was emphatic. No, we are not getting it. Why should I spend $80 or $90, you know? So default mind may say that, you know, default mind may say, okay, you cannot spend even $80, $90 for me? No, I cannot. So I cannot with the discerning intellect. When you say it with the discerning mind, then you are gone. Then you have a problem. See the difference. Yes, Sangeeta, what do you have to say?
सर मेडिटेशन बहुत डीप और पीसफुल थी। सर जैसे ना होता है कि किचन में मदर इन लॉ है तो वो चाय गिरा देती है गैस पे बहुत बार, मतलब हर दूसरे दिन। तो पहले मैं बोलती थी उनको जाके, तो अब मैंने बोलना बंद कर दिया उनको, मैं खुद साफ कर देती हूँ। और पहले करती थी तो इरिटेशन होती थी कि उनको नहीं बोला, पर अब बहुत पीस है कि ठीक है, नहीं बोला, मैंने कर दिया, हो गया काम खत्म।
You see the work of the default mind and the discerning intellect. Her mother-in-law used to spill the tea while preparing the tea in the kitchen. And Sangeeta used to react in the past. Now she stopped reacting, means discerning intellect. Now both are happy. Christina, are you getting it? Yes, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. Sir, it was calm. It started with little bit of thoughts, but in the end, it was calm. It was very quiet. And like I've noticed something like during long practices, my attentions in between of the practices, it's locked between my forehead. My awareness is quite high in my forehead. I don't know why, but it upsets my mind. It distracts me also sometimes. But I bring my attention to some other, like to my feet or something else, so it should not get distracted. But that happens while doing the long practices.
Yes, continue with that. Once it will just dissolve. It's a good, because too much of pressure or too much of attention inside the head The mind tries to move inside and wants to remain there with a tremendous force. So once the default mind drops and discerning intellect becomes aware, it will happen. So yes, Ashok, what happened in the last 2 days? I don't want to hear that who does not have a stress in their life. This is a general state.
Okay.
I give you my
Sir,
example.
सर आई मीन 1 दिसंबर से मैंने एक काम मिला है रेडिसन होटल में, और मेरे को जो अच्छा फील हो रहा है कि somebody is helping me, or the things are better, and things are getting better and better, and I mean luck is in my favor. I mean I'm thinking good things, विचार अच्छे आते हैं, तो अवेयरनेस भी थोड़ी बढ़ी है। आई मीन ठीक है, धीरे धीरे हो रहा है सर।
He intelligently changed the entire topic. He is more intelligent than all of us. He started saying that he got some contract in the business, and now that is why he is feeling better. That is your experience of the last 2 days. That is why it is the work of the default mind. I'm not criticizing. I'm not saying that you are bad or good. We are understanding. Our understanding is required. Anyhow, Terry is not showing up, perhaps. I don't see the video of the Terry. Perhaps if I can see or not. No problem. Yeah. Yes, now we can see.
Well, in the last 2 days, I had the opportunity to practice Mangalacharana all night. Well, not all night, but for a couple hours, because I had a problem. My legs were twitching, so I couldn't sleep.
Okay.
But so I just did it.
You just did it.
Not good for me, but I didn't get upset about it.
You didn't get upset. Yes. You know, you say you had some problem with your leg. I have some problem. Everyone has, Our default mind causes things that I have a special problem. That is the problem of a default mind. Never think like this.
Well, it couldn't let me sleep.
Yes, it happens. Sometimes it happens to me, sometimes it happens to others also. Then what?
There's a way, so I thought I would use the time to.
But your expression is better. That is what we are experiencing. You are able to express in the form. You are able to express which is pointed and focused. Other people express has no value. So sometime when you are not able to express, I say it's okay. You are in peace. It's okay. It's a part. So from today, we are entering into a new phase we should reach. Can you live? Or I would use the word, can you think, speak, and act minus default mind, minus blame, complaint, reaction, duality, conflict for 1 week at a go? Oh, I can do that. I will just close the room. I will go for a retreat. No. You have to live your life. That will help you to move ahead to the awakening. What is the fun if you go to the Himalayas, you don't find anyone? So there is no one to react. Ashok will explain me there is another contract next week. Anyhow, that is all for today. Thank you.
Namaste, sir. Thank you so much. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Perhaps I recorded audio. I did not. Okay, I have recorded this also.